Check. Podcast. Yeah.
BeastMasters Club. Experiencing the world's finest whiskey, one bottle at a time.
All right, folks. Welcome back, Whiskey Freaks. This is the BeastMasters Club podcast. All right, we got a super special episode teed up for you today. We're doing a battle once again between Steve, the SmokyBeast Zeller, and Jake, the Whiskey Warrior Cahill.
How much am I getting paid for this?
You're getting a drink for free.
Getting whiskey and a swift kick in the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going down again.
Didn't we
Beast.
buy you pizza or something?
You did.
Come on now.
Thank you.
Tonight, we're also really proud to welcome Mike Kantor to the podcast. Mike is the Bourbon Review on Instagram and other social channels.
Just Instagram.
All right, on Instagram. Say hi, Mike.
Hello. How
All
we
right.
doing?
Thanks for coming. And
Welcome to the Beast Lair.
and we have as another guest judge, Dana, Mrs. SmokyBeast Zeller.
It's an honor.
Always. A privilege. And myself. So the three of us are going to be judging this epic showdown contest between the Whiskey Warrior and the SmokyBeast. Before we get started, just
in case you guys didn't catch all of the press conferences we had leading up to this, I'm wearing my "fuck you" suit right now.
Yeah. I actually came. I was gonna wear a mask as Steve, and I was gonna go Arya Stark on you bitches and rip it off.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
The Mission Impossible Open killed me.
That was so good.
Yeah, so we're recording this the day after the Game of Thrones season 1 million premiere.
Woo!
But
All right, guys, show
just
again.
a few things. I want to thank all of the BeastMasters Club podcast fans and purchasers of our hot pickle wild turkey bottle. We have only a few left. It's been selling like crazy, so thank you guys. We think it's awesome. Hopefully you're thinking it's awesome. We're glad that you've been listening to that podcast with Eddie Russell because it's like a really nice final payoff of our listen along with us picking the barrel while you sip your wild turkey. So thanks a lot for that. We've got a Four Roses barrel on the way. I think it's an OBSV Four Roses.
Correct.
High rye again, which is coming. We
Delicious.
should have it.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. You've had some. At least.
Al Young, guest picker with the BeastMasters Club.
Exactly. Al Young treated us to the pickin' party down at Four Roses. So I think that barrel should arrive the very beginning of August. So we'll be sending out a notification when it does, and you'll all get a chance to get a piece of that.
Can't wait.
It's the thing about the Beastmasters. We don't pick bad whiskey.
Damn straight.
Listen to Mrs. Beast. Otherwise, we hope you guys are in for a treat tonight. This is going to be the best ryes under $100. So we know it's hard to find good rye out there at a decent price. So we're trying to clue folks in on what you can get out there and get. These are all things that you can buy in a store. Nothing here is really inaccessible. This is all stuff that you should be able to find. We don't want to make this like, oh, we're drinking some really great stuff, but fuck you, you can't get it. So no, you can get these. And all right, enough of me. I'm going to shut up. Let's get on with it.
Whiskey Wars 2, Revenge of the SmokyBeast.
Revenge of the SmokyBeast. So I've currently got my title belt slapped up here on the table in front of the Beast, just to
Jake
taunt
won
him a
our
little
last
bit.
contest back in the winter, which was best bourbon under $75, and the Whiskey Warrior was victorious in that contest.
Darn tootin'. I won that with Russell's Reserve Single Barrel.
All right.
Just a regular store release.
So what kind of fame and notoriety did you win?
Honestly, I've got nothing but back problems from the title belt. I don't know how Connor does it all the time. He's got two fucking belts, and he rocks around with them. He must wear one facing backwards.
just
No,
puts
he's
them on
like
his
he's like
shoulders.
1/4 your size too.
Connor screaming at Dana White to get him the second belt is the best minute of television I've ever seen in my life.
See,
I won my belt!
Jake thinks he doesn't need to wear pants with his title belt. So
This is true. Well,
it's just a title belt.
It's really large. Not me. The belt. The belt is really large, and I'm not. So it covers everything. It's
Perfect.
fine.
Perfect.
Nice.
All of Jake's pants have like 18-inch belt loops, so he can just put it
Just
right
wear the
in
title
there.
belt through the belt loops.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I win this one too. Otherwise, all my pants are going to fit.
I'm
very
gonna
poorly.
make you a belt like that just so you can wear them in your belt loops.
Are you a seamstress?
I think you'd be more of
I'm a leather worker and a welder.
A leather worker? Steve, you won that round.
I know. He's a winner.
I wanted to say something about my strat. Can I say something about my strategy for this
Please
fight
do.
today? So I was getting in the zone today, and I'm at the office, and
was getting in
I'm
the
meditating.
zone.
I'm doing some stretching, some warm-ups for
You know,
my
not
for my
working
battle
like
tonight.
most people do at their office.
Yeah, no, fuck that. And outside my office door, a fight happened. So there's this guy in my office. Let's call him Ryan, because that's his name. And Ryan's been studying kung fu, like Wang Chun kung fu, for like 3 years. And this other guy kind of playfully like throws a little punch at him. And Ryan goes into like what I can only describe as the epileptic parakeet technique, where he's just slapping his arms like a little girl in a panic. So I want to congratulate Ryan on all that kung fu training, and tonight I will be employing the epileptic parakeet technique. That's my style, like the iron fist.
Epileptic parakeet in
Yeah.
the house. So Ryan is like a 5th degree epileptic parakeet.
Correct.
I think we have the name of the next barrel.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
epileptic parakeet. Perfect.
That's not bad.
Jake, what did you do to prepare for our cast tonight?
So while I was sitting in my office this morning going to the bathroom, I was scrolling through Instagram,
Diuretic buffalo.
looking up people fighting on the streets after soccer matches. So I wore my cleats
The old football riot.
and football. Yeah, absolutely.
Get a fucking hooligan.
Yeah, so I'm ready. I've got my tracksuit on. I've got my white Adidas that have never been worn before. I shaved my head just for this night, and I'm smoking a lot of cigarettes. And I'm gonna be channeling
Bring
my
it.
Green Street hooligan tonight.
He'll find you down the pub. All right.
Something about tiny bubbles.
So are we ready for round one, folks?
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm ready.
We need a bell.
Are you ready?
All right. So
I'm ready.
So Mr. Smoky Beast, what is your round
Well,
one?
we're starting with Jake here,
Oh,
going
so-
left to right. So
In traditional Smoky Beast versus Whiskey Warrior fashion, I brought the lower proof stuff to start off with. So it always starts with me because
is that right? Okay.
I'm the wimp that likes to drink lower proof stuff.
There you go.
Every now and again.
No shame. No shame.
However, my lower proof stuff for the night is not really that low proof. So I brought Wild Turkey 101 rye for my first fist swinger of the evening.
The Torquay.
Yeah.
All right.
This has long time been one of my favorite ryes, and has pretty much always been very easily accessible. It has always been extremely affordable, and it has always been really fucking delicious. There was a little hiccup, I think, like 2 years ago. It disappeared for 2 years. I think in 2012, they had a pretty big shortage of it, so they were just selling the 81 proof rye, which was really, really not as good. And I know, like, Eddie was not happy about that and blah, blah, blah. But 2 years later, this made a comeback, not to all 48 states that it was distributed in, but I think it's like 21 to 24 states that it's available in now. And they're only selling it in 1 liters. So it's like really popular at bars and at bigger stores.
No 7.5s.
There's no 750s of this at the moment. It's still all 1 liters.
I like that. We should start only
Only 1
bottling
liter.
liters, or like 1.75 liter bottles.
We gotta get
That'd
some
be sweet.
Magnums. Yeah, that'd be dope. The hot pickle Magnum, that brings a whole new connotation.
It's a lot of pickle.
So
That boy
this
got
is
a lot of pickle.
So this has always been my workhorse. This was one of the first ryes that I got exposed to. It's a rye that always has a spot on my bar. I always suggest people I need a good rye. Like, what's a good rye? I don't care what they say their price range is. I always say Wild Turkey 101 is a must-have. It's Wild Turkey. It's traditional. They've been making it with the same mash bill for 40 years. I don't remember exactly when they implemented the 101 rye, but it has been around a long, long time. And it's still just as good as it always has been.
All I can say is that I wish that when I was in college and I was drinking it straight out of the handle, like we were buying it in the Wild Turkey in the handle, not the rye, but just Wild Turkey, the whiskey in general.
101 probably.
101, yeah, of course, but like in a Magnum. I mean, it wasn't a Magnum, whatever. The handle.
handle.
Yeah,
7.5.
they used to make gallons.
I
back
wish
then.
I knew what I was drinking. It's delicious.
Right.
It's great. I mean, I feel like this one, you're right. It's like a lower proof, but it's like a quiet storm.
I mean, it's
it
101.
starts out very. Yeah, I mean, it's not like apple cider.
It's
I
not-
mean,
this
it's
is
like,
not- this
you
is
know,
not breakfast bourbon.
right.
You must have been very wealthy in college drinking Wild Turkey 101.
No, a handle of how much was a handle of wild turkey?
I was drinking a handle of Kentucky Gentleman in a plastic bottle.
Also delicious.
Yeah.
You know?
It came in an actual glass bottle that was way beyond.
That
me
was
in college.
like, wow, we really went out for this tailgate. You bought a glass handle.
All right. And to take out Jake's Wild Turkey 101, I have brought Pikesville Straight Rye, which for me, I think hits all the buttons right now because it's 110 proof. It's an age-stated, at least 6 years rye, and it's like $50 to $60. And name any other rye that hits all those buttons right now, and I'll buy the shit out of it. So, Pikesville. Also, as you can see, it's like 4 shades darker than Jake's Pale Wild Turkey. Just pointing that out, you know, for the audience at home.
Yeah, all right. So we'll also encourage you. You know, if you want to look, we're going to list out all the ryes that we're drinking. So if you want to set up at home and bust out these 4 ryes,
Play
you know,
on. Ben's going
bring
to put
some
out a full pictorial.
That'd be
exactly. Yeah, I'm going to put out a full spread just for you. Like you can have me as your centerfold drinking some rye.
Oh God,
Mm.
don't subscribe to that.
I'll keep at least just the jock strap on, so you know it won't be too.
I really like that you guys chose things that are like accessible. Like I think that listen, I would never kick a little Port Ellen out of bed or like all this great stuff that we
You
had,
would
but never. But I think that's like the whole kind of like the reason why we started this whole thing, like when we started the blog, and then just to make sure people are enjoying whiskey. It doesn't have to be expensive. There's lots of great stuff that's really affordable.
Of course. I mean, that is like we've seen in the last few years a big boom of like higher end stuff. But you got to think about like the most sought after ryes on the market were always what, like the Van Winkle, 13-year family estate rye, and what maybe the Sazerac 18. Those are actually still under $100
List.
at retail.
Yeah.
If you get them,
Oh,
like
sure.
if someone were supposed to put them up at regular cost.
But that's a joke.
Of course it's a joke. But my point is that American whiskey was always a really affordable category of great shit. So, like, of course, most of it is hard to get now. Most of it you have to pay a lot of money for. But what we wanted to line up tonight and throw down to find the best was the stuff
Go
that
online,
you can
go
still
to any
get.
liquor store,
Yeah.
pick the
Yep.
shit up.
It's still
But last
fine.
time we did a couple. I did the Elijah Craig barrel proof, and you did a private barrel. So we
Right.
got kind
Yeah,
of
we-
chided for that. 'cause
yeah, we
it was
did.
like technically under $75, but not something
Right.
you could go out and get. So tonight it's all straight up
Yeah.
accessible shit.
Yeah.
All right, so judges, Mike, what are your thoughts on these two? This is our we're going left to right, so these are the first two. What do you think on the 101 and the Pikesville?
So I only had the 101, just sitting here right now. Pikesville is one of my favorites. We had a little chat before this podcast, and some of you guys were giving it some heat, but I love the 110 proof of it. From what I understand, and I don't know if this is true or not, when I had heard the Pikesville coming out with their rye, it's Heaven Hill, and the way it was described to me, it's a little further aged Rittenhouse at a little higher proof. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the best. Every bar you go to in New York City, we have a cocktail. A lot of time it's Rittenhouse. You get a
Rittenhouse
they're-
100.
Yeah.
if you're getting a rye Manhattan.
They're rye is Rittenhouse, and that stuff's fantastic. So
Mm-hmm.
you get the stuff at 10 points higher, a couple years older, and it kind of walks the line. It's not like it's a 75% rye. I think it's like close to like a 51, 52%.
Yeah, it's more Kentucky
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, it's like you walk the line between a rye and a bourbon. I love that because you kind of get the sweetness of the bourbon and you're getting the spiciness of the rye. So right now I'm just sipping on the 101, and I'll get to the Pikesville shortly. But a lot of flavor in this 101.
Yeah, I like the 101. I don't really drink it a lot. I'm a huge rye fan. I'm super psyched that we're doing this because we've been drinking tons and tons and tons of bourbon, which I have no beef with.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm
I'm-
so sorry for you.
but I mean, just the barrels we've been able to get. Try and get a private rye barrel these days. Not so easy. But I'm just psyched that we're doing this now. I'm glad Jake pulled out the Wild Turkey 101 because it's not something that I drink a lot as a rye, just personally. But I think it brings something interesting here. It's like a little stingy. It's like got a little more harshness than the Pikesville for
So
me.
this is
but
a-
it's really flavorful. You don't have to defend yourself. It's
I'm not
okay.
defending anything. I stand by this. This is great. I'm not going to go back on my choice. This is still my favorite choice. And I do like the Pikesville a lot. I respect it. And I have a bottle of it open at home too. It's a good rye. And it's amazing for the value. But And this is of course me personally, I'd rather drink the 101.
All right, enough editorial. Why don't
Yeah.
we start with
Maybe
my lovely
Mrs.
wife? You want to just do tasting notes on 1 and 2,
Yeah.
maybe?
So the wild turkey, I mean, like I was saying, it was like I feel like it's like a little bit of a quiet storm. Like it's very sweet. I feel like it's got like a really good kind of like, I don't know. I mean, like almost like an apple taste to it. I get like a little bit of apple, but then it's like after like kind of on the back end, you get like a little bit of a burn, but not too much because it's not super crazy. It's just a little bit. So, I think it's good. The Pikesville though, I get like a lot of cinnamon. I mean, obviously it's higher proof, so it's going to give you a little bit more burn, but I get a lot of cinnamon from that. Maybe, I don't know.
On the nose,
Maybe a
for
little
me-
smooth, like a little bit sweet, but it's not as sweet as the wild turkey. The cinnamon really just stands out for me on the Pikesville.
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely, the wild turkey is more of that rye spice, the herbalness. I do get that citrus note, the green apple kind of, and the Pikesville is more chewy, heavier mouthfeel, which you get with the age and a little bit higher proof, and denser, but you're not getting that rye spice. You're not getting that those like really floral herbal notes.
Which one were you saying that about?
The Pikesville, yeah.
Yeah, Pikesville's got a little bit more of that baking spicy bourbon.
Much spicier.
Bourbon come up. Well, yeah, but it's like not your typical like herbal rye spice. It's a little more bourbony, just in the way it presents. It has that, like you were saying, kind of cinnamony, more that baking spice action. It doesn't have that peppery minty thing going on. It doesn't have. I will say on the mouthfeel, I much prefer the Pikesville. It is a lot more oily. You can just look at it, like you can see like big legs and just the dark richness of it. You can just see it in the glass. I mean, you put these two up together, and it's like no, not even a comparison. Yeah. But I think it's more of a preference thing here. Like if you're gonna go head to head, they're both really good. I would sip either of them. They're nice, easy drinkers, both of them. I do think the turkey presents like a little bit more of a burn, like I said before.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, just more on the finish. It's got a little bit more.
Oh, no, I mean, this is obviously just this is all opinions. And
it's got a little
all
bit more to
subjects.
me on the finish of like a little bit more of a like.
See, that's
I
so funny.
think-
the
Less smooth.
The Pikesville at home, I had it a couple times neat. I still go back to it a couple times neat, and like, I don't like it neat. I don't think it's a good whiskey neat. I think it's a really good whiskey for cocktails.
But see, we're the judges here, though.
Yeah, I'm not the judge's judge, man. Sit back.
You're a contestant.
Did
You're a
you not feel the envelope
You're a
underneath your
contestant.
seat
It's
when you
interesting
tapped
though because
No, I didn't.
I think
Is it
you're
here? Did Jake pay me off?
I think you're right though, because it is kind of on these two. It's a little bit of a preference. I mean, you really can't go wrong with either of them. But one is a little bit like not like a wild turkey for me is just they're both great. Wild turkey is just like not as like hearty. I guess it's a little bit more kind of. I agree. I almost think like
It's a
I
summer
wouldn't. I
rye.
would sip it. Yeah, so, it's drinking the scorching months
It's like
of
an
the
August
July.
rye.
And the Pikesville, I think, like, because it's got a little bit more burn to it and it's got a little bit more spice, I think maybe you're right. Like, it would hold up in a cocktail way better.
Did you get into the Pikesville at all, Mike?
I did, yeah. Like I said before, it is the more, like you said, baking spice, heavier mouthfeel, oily. These legs, like they're running.
Running, baby.
Running. But I would have to say, if you're looking at a from a price standpoint, I mean, you can get 3 bottles of the wild turkey for the price of the Pikesville.
True,
I believe
indeed.
the only price criteria was under $100.
Under $100.
Right.
So if we're making cocktails, I'm
Well,
not
we still
pouring.
have to talk about it. No, it's okay, Mike. Keep going.
Totally
I'm sorry,
agree.
don't listen to these guys.
We
But
roll big.
I
We roll big. We
haven't-
make cocktails out of,
I have not had Wild Turkey 101 rye in a long time, and I am pleasantly surprised with it.
Me too. I totally agree. I don't generally drink this, but
that's
it's
all I
it's
want.
a good sipper. And
small victory.
when Jake comes over, I'll proudly serve it to him. I like that you like the cheap stuff. A good cheap date. It's
I
good.
do like the cheap stuff. Hi, honey.
All right, so I think we're going to cloister ourselves for a moment and maybe confer amongst ourselves as judge panel here and cast our votes.
All right.
All right. What are you guys thinking? I don't really care. What, I mean, I'm a Pikesville fan personally. But
I might go with the 101.
All right. Is that your final answer?
My final answer.
Final answer. All right, gentlemen. The judges.
Yes, sorry, yes.
The judges have spoken. I think the Pikesville is our winner of round 1 by 2-1.
You know, I'm out of here. This is bullshit.
Epileptic parakeet.
The epileptic parakeet has destroyed the diuretic buffalo in round 1.
Stop the flashing lights.
That was really hard. It was really hard to make a decision on that one.
Your 101 is crap.
So is your parrot impression. No, that's okay. I happily accept defeat. Listen, this won Rye of the Year and number 2 World Whiskey of the Year, according to Jim Murray and his crazy
Indeed.
eyes. So,
Listen, when they sell us a barrel of Wild Turkey 101 rye, we're all over it.
let's
So
do
I'm
it,
not,
Eddie.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
any shit about
Well,
this bad boy.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
I hounded,
Sorry.
and we will put out a podcast of our tasting of a single barrel of Wild Turkey Russell's Reserve Rye, which we did have in our barrel picking when we were down
straight
at
from the
Wild
barrel.
straight out of the barrel with Eddie's custom whiskey thief. But
Oh
and
my
it was
God, That's
awesome.
going to be the new branding. The straight out of Compton, it's going to be straight out of the barrel.
Straight out of barrel.
Oh, we drank straight out of the barrel.
I know, but that needs to be the label when you guys eventually
Straight
get
out of
him
barrel?
to actually do a straight out of the barrel
I like
pick.
that.
It's just
Should
straight
do
out
a
of the barrel.
t-shirt, straight out of barrel.
Straight out of barrel.
While we were there picking the bourbon, I think I asked Eddie no less than 37 times if we could get a barrel of
You
rye.
did, sure.
I was basically like, no, but I know you don't do it anymore, but just for us. Just no, 'cause
Yeah, I'm sure you were the
'cause
first
I'm
one.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You were the first one.
I'm sweet. I'm sweet. Come on. You like me.
I don't think you're his type.
And he was basically like, well, we can taste one, but other than that, shut up.
Just bring a sample bottle next time.
Yeah, I know we can taste one, but can we get one?
Yeah, it's like, you could just pour this one out for us right now, and I'll catch it in my hand.
I mean, we had already had no less than 10 whiskeys at that point, and then I drank that rye, and it was honestly, the tears were I was getting emotional. I thought I saw angels flying. It was not,
It was a spiritual
it
experience.
was a spiritual
You probably
experience.
did. So if I could, real quick, I just want to give it.
You want to recap?
Just for the listeners.
Please
so
do.
The Wild Turkey 101 we got here in New York City for $40 for the liter.
All right.
Wow.
So in your market, it's probably cheaper.
32.
I take that
In
back.
any
that,
other market other than New York.
that 2 Wild Turkeys to 1 Pikesville
Yeah,
ratio.
it's
That
true.
is.
Although you think
That
about
is off.
it's a 1 liter bottle versus 750, so it's really about $30 a bottle.
Right. Yes. If
so,
you're
yeah.
doing a 750, it'd probably be.
And I lied. This is actually
Out of New York
this
might
wasn't
be
40. I think it was
$24.
like 35. It was
Wow.
35 after tax. So it's a really great value still.
right. If
And
you're
that's
not in
for
the
1 liter
city, it's
bottle.
probably $24.
Yeah, it could be. And the Pikesville was what, 50? Did you get it for 50 before tax?
Yeah, it's 55 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Can you get Pikesville other
Yeah,
places?
it's actually
yeah?
really readily
And
available.
available
that's great.
online anywhere.
I mean, it's
Astor,
Heaven Hill.
wherever.
They're not short on stock.
Yeah.
If you listen to the podcast with Bernie Lubbers, sometimes supporting a big house is good.
Well, speaking of
They make a lot of hooch.
Yeah.
speaking of availability, it did win Jim Murray's Whiskey of the Year. Was it first or second place?
Second place.
So what was that after the Northern Harvest Rye? Was that the same
2
year?
years ago.
Was
Yeah,
it the same year?
I think so.
So when Northern Harvest ran Crown Royal's Canadian rye, everyone in the whiskey world, their eyes were
Yeah.
going loopy, seriously. And you saw store managers, putting it top shelf, trying to sell it for $60 a bottle, and Pikesville kind of slipped under the radar, and you
Yeah.
can still find it at retail,
Yeah.
which is surprising, especially in the city.
Yeah, it became that kind of old granddad 114 of the bourbon community knew this was the shit for the price. This is what you get if you want really good high proof rye for $50, because there was nothing else at this proof at the age statement at that market. So I do respect that. But I just thought it was interesting that they resurrected this old brand. So Heaven Hill bought the rights to Pikesville, which was originally a Maryland rye. Starting from back in the 1890s or something, and they bought it in the 80s, and they didn't choose to implement it until 4 years ago.
Oh, that's
Right.
Yeah, so they just
Wow.
brought it back. So I just wanted a little history on that, so the listeners could know that this is a really cool old school brand that got revived by Heaven Hill.
so.
Really
So
cool.
in summary,
Actually, you know
there's
what?
no bad decisions here.
No, there's
you
not.
cannot
And,
go wrong with either of those.
We're talking about
choices.
Wild Turkey rye. So, Jimmy and Eddie don't drink rye. We found out. They
Yeah,
don't
they're
like
not super
rye.
into it.
That's why
But
they
the
made theirs.
grandson, Bruce, is big into rye.
Oh, is he really?
Eddie's son.
And Eddie's the grandson, Jimmy's
Yeah.
grandson, Eddie's son, Bruce, is like super into rye. And so we'll release this podcast in a few weeks. But Eddie like took us to Bruce's favorite cask of rye in all the warehouses and poured it for us. So I'm thinking maybe like the resurgence of the rye. There's hope. There'll be more Wild Turkey rye, and we'll do the BeastMasters rye.
Well, that's another thing. We should talk about this later on, I think, as it comes up a little more organically. But like rye, the reason that it was so hard to choose is because there's not a whole lot of rye on the market right now. And I think we'll get to that. When we get to these last two, I think that'll become more of a topic of conversation because they're both not exactly distillery produced ryes.
Well, yeah, and
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
And we have just like Pikesville, another like newish, not so new anymore brand that we're going to talk about in round two. That's another revived name.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was sort of resurrected, and who we've done a bunch of work with already. So,
all right. Are we ready?
Cool.
Are we ready for round two?
Round one.
Well done, gents. Well done.
Round one to the Beast.
Yeah.
The Warrior.
We want a kick in the dick.
All right.
I thought we had it, Turkey. Just so you know, I refuse to drink.
Imagine
All
a
right,
ring
for the rest of
girl
the night.
walking through the room right now carrying a giant card
I'm right
saying
here.
2.
I'm right here.
I don't have a card.
Thank
for
you,
it.
Bambi.
Woo! The beautiful
Sorry about your mother.
Dana. All right.
Wait, wasn't Bambi a guy?
Huh?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
No, Bambi the deer might have been a boy with a woman for the mom who was the.
Was
I don't
Bambi
know.
a dude?
I
But
think
I'm
Bambi
thinking
was
of
a
it as
guy.
a stripper name, which is usually a woman.
Let's say I know
Unless you're Jake.
I know a Bambi in Atlantic City who walks the streets at night, but could be a guy.
She's
could
a
be
lovely
girl.
girl.
Next time we do a head to head, I'm gonna be the
ring
card
girl.
girl, but I'm gonna wear a whiskey barrel. So you feel like that's a good thing, like a good. We have one. I mean, I'll
We
put
do.
a pair of suspenders
Just be
on
careful
it.
about splinters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. We need to get that
It's
strap.
about
up.
150, about 150 pounds. So
And
good
then I'll
luck
throw
with that.
myself over a waterfall
You'll be like,
in a barrel.
you'll be dragging it across the floor.
It's gonna be like a portable like whack-a-mole game. She's just gonna put a couple minutes,
They put my head in,
Put wheels on it. Put it on a little red wagon
Like-
or something.
or like a little remote control, just like zip around.
All right.
Oh man.
Round 2.
Ding ding.
Ding ding.
For round 2.
All right.
Bring it on.
So are you going first this round?
Yes.
The Beast.
I have the
Here we
lower
go.
proof round 2 rye.
Yeah, that's right. Jake came in with the big swinging proof this round. You thought I was gonna say something else, didn't you?
That was a little pathetic.
Not really.
It was a little sad. What
Damn
just
it.
happened there?
Fine.
To make shitty puns, they at least have to be decent shitty puns. Yeah.
Fine. Go ahead, Steve.
On that note, I have brought Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. One of my favorite. I mean, if we're going with relatively easily available ryes on the market for under $100, I think this one's pretty hard to beat. We spent some time with Joe and Pam and Andrea and the Michter's folk.
Indeed.
And they do some special stuff. They barrel this stuff low at about 103 proof, and then it creeps up. So this one is 114.8 proof.
Yeah, what was their thing with that? That if they barrel at a lower proof, it gets better penetration into the barrel, right? Like,
It does, but
that's
it-
Well,
part
they
of it.
water. They basically add the water more water before aging instead of proofing it
Right.
down afterwards. In this case, it's just barrel proof.
It's more expensive
but,
for them, but there's a reason
But basically,
that they
the
do it.
water picks up all that wood flavor. So
Right.
if you just dump the water in at the end, you're just dumping water in.
I'm surprised nobody made a penetration joke after you said that. By the way.
Yeah, where were you,
Actually,
Jake?
I was
pretty
told
shocking.
to withhold shitty jokes, so I
You're
figured I'd back
sleeping.
off
You're
that.
sleeping. What do we give you pizza for? Jesus.
To make me sleep. To keep me vulnerable for the Beast to win. I see what's happening here.
And this is you done? You good?
Please continue, Mr. Beast.
Oh my God, there's an epic stare down.
Yeah, you guys are. I don't know if it's a stare down so much as like a dual come hither.
I
thing.
used
Like,
pro eye.
I know
who's
he's
gonna
waiting to
rate
interrupt me
first?
as soon as I start talking, so I was just pausing.
Did one of you just lick your lips? Like you guys are scaring me over there.
give you the chicken
Jake's-
wing to the nads?
Please stop sitting us so close for these things. I don't want to be in the
Do I
same
have to
room with them
separate you
anymore.
guys now? But we're across the room,
Might
like
be
in
wise.
proper judge style, watching you with a
beautiful.
The edge, thumbs up,
Critical
thumbs down.
eye.
Does he live or does he die?
It's like Romeo. It's like Romeo and
This is-
Juliet.
Will you keep talking about your whiskey, please?
This
Jesus.
is last year's 16C406 barrel, in case anyone wants to replicate this exactly at home. And I think it's a shit kicker of a rye. So enjoy.
It's a shit kicker of a rye.
All right, well, we'll taste this guy. So Jake, what's your offering for round 2?
So I brought
What have you brought to us, sir?
I brought a little project called Redemption that started off as a non-barrel proof project by 2 guys, and then they decided to barrel some of it to release some of it at barrel proof in batches. So this is the Redemption straight rye whiskey at barrel proof. This one is 7 years old. It's batch number 5, which is a little bit older of a batch, but there's still some in the market. And it is 123.2 proof, so 61.6% alcohol.
And what was the Michter's at?
The Michter's is
114.8.
57.4.
This is MGP rye, right?
Yeah, it's
Correct?
LDI. So
LDI.
So in fact, are they both LDI? What do we got?
No.
here?
Michter's was contract distilled before they
Right.
started distilling their own stuff.
Yes.
So
this is
is
their
probably still
recipe
their
made by
by someone.
Brown
Undisclosed.
Foreman, I think.
Likely
unofficial.
undisclosed.
Michter's would probably be really angry at me if they heard me say that, but I will
Well,
say,
no, I
I
mean,
mean,
everyone can
I
take
heard
guesses,
Brown
it's fine.
Foreman was doing their
I
stuff.
believe Brown Foreman is right next door.
Yes, they are literally
So we
next
know they're
door. You
close
can
by. So it's
spit
not
on
it
Brown
wouldn't
Foreman.
be a shocking guess.
It wouldn't.
That's where.
But it's their it's their mash bill, it's their yeast strain, it's their barrels, their
Right, it's
aging
their
in the warehouse.
recipe.
Right.
Their
It's just
everything.
contract distilled, similar to like Medley, whatever
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. So, so the Redemption is cool. I wanted to bring this because I wanted to fill a void. I have a feeling if we had hosted this podcast a year or a year and a half ago, both of us probably would have showed up with Smooth Ambler Rye. It is
probably.
It's always been a personal favorite of ours, and that is the same source that Redemption sources from.
Right,
So,
LDI.
yeah. So my thing was, okay, Smooth Ambler's gone. I need to find a good replacement for Smooth Ambler because I really like that juice a lot. And Redemption was just as transparent. It says on the label right here that
Where they source.
It's brought from Indiana. It's 95% rye mash bill. Like you can figure it out. There's no smoke and mirrors here. My idea with this was like this replicated for me why I bought it the first time. One of my favorite ryes that was no longer readily available on the market, and this one is. This is just about the only one that comes in under $100 though. They have an 8-year and a 10-year. The 8-year you can sometimes get for like $90.
$98.
Sometimes,
Right.
yeah. But the 10 year is well over. So the 7-year is about $65 to $70. So that's why I brought that because it
What are
matches up price wise against the Michter's.
Yeah, the Michter's is also like sneaking under 100.
No, it's like 75, 80.
80s,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah, in the 80s.
It's, I mean, like I've seen it as low as 65.
Sure.
But, yeah.
But you're generally going to see it it's like an 80.
creeping up
Yeah.
too, and getting a little
Yeah.
harder to find. I think people
Yes.
are buying it.
Well,
The
I would
barrel
say
strength.
about the Michter's, whenever I go to a bar, I mean, and I've done this. I mean, I think last week we were at a bar, and I want a rye. If I see the Michter's, I order the Michter's.
The barrel strength.
The
Well,
Whatever.
whatever. I mean, yeah,
You just-
exactly.
you just
Any
go to
rye.
Michter's.
Yes, I go to Michter's. I mean, it's always been. I've said this before on our podcast. Like I've always and in our blog. Like I love Michter's. I think everything. I've liked a lot, if not all, of the things that they've done in the past. I love the rye. I think their ryes. I mean, granted, I've had some of like the 25-year rye, right?
Yes.
So I'm a little bit spoiled, but even just a little. But
That stuff was crap.
Are we going back to your college days, just drinking out of the
yeah,
bottle?
I mean, I was a freshman in college, and we would like just go to the bars,
Slinging
and, like,
175.
20,
Stick
yeah.
Stick a
You know.
crazy straw in it.
No.
Oh,
I, was,
man.
I mean that,
Sippy straw.
and then I
Comes
was
around his
I
glasses.
was doing a Goldschlager back after that. Don't worry.
Dude,
Just kidding.
back in your college days, you actually might have been able to still get some of the OG Michter's from Pennsylvania.
What are you saying, Jake?
That you're fucking old.
Fuck you.
You're gonna call out the lady for her elderly
I'm
status?
sorry,
Wow.
equal rights?
How dare you?
Honestly,
How dare you.
if
can't
there were a
pick and choose
fight,
what you want.
Jake might have like 3 feet on me, but if there were a fight, like I'm pretty confident I could take him down.
You'd stomp on him.
Oh, like without
You do
question.
fucking nothing. I would get my ass kicked. That is a
I
stone
would.
cold
You would
fact.
be in a lot of
Dana
trouble.
would just
Totally would.
stare at you hard and you'd break.
So are you done buttering up the judges?
My Jewish guilt would murder you.
Shit to them? Yeah, I don't think I'm really doing much good for myself.
Yeah,
Here.
way to really ingratiate yourself.
So I have
We're
to.
just gonna do what
let's-
Dana
But your
says
pants
anyway.
are lovely.
So I have to say that I came to this. I saw the Michters, and like I'm not saying what I'm voting for. I'm just saying Michters is my go-to.
Oh, don't be mad at all. Steve and I was ready to show up. Like, I couldn't make my final decision. Like, I love the Redemption. I love the Michters. I was really torn between the two, but then I said, fuck it, I want to bring like a cast strength monster. So,
Well, this is also cast strength, by the way.
yeah, but this is a monster.
Hey,
I haven't gotten to the redemption. I haven't gotten to the redemption
Easy
yet.
there. There's a lot of editorializing coming from the whiskey warrior over
Sure.
here. There's a lot of like influence peddling, I would call
right.
it.
As soon as my wife
this is not
kicks
you
him in the
being-
nuts,
you're
I'll
a
shut up.
warrior, not the whiskey lobbyist. For fuck's sake.
I'm sorry. Listen, no one respects whiskey more than me. Okay, I will take a break now. You guys do that.
Grab the whiskey by the barrel.
All right, so Dana, what's your thoughts on these two on the Michter's barrel strength and the Redemption?
Give us a
So-
play-by-play tasting notes on one.
Yeah.
versus-
So I think that the
breakdown.
Michters is also a little hot, a little spicy, but you get a little sweetness on the back end, and I like that. It's always like it's very consistent. I don't know like if that's like the right word for it, but it's just straight through. Like you get like this really intense, good, kind of like hot spiciness with like a little bit of. For me, I get like a sweetness on the back end.
I'm gonna agree with the hotness of it, but to me it comes off as a little unbalanced, especially only at 113 proof. I would, if you gave these to me blind and you asked me which one is higher proof, I would say the Michters, even though it's
I
113
agree.
and the
Yeah.
Redemption's 126.
Yeah.
That being said, we've had a couple drinks already, but there's not a lot of flavors I'm picking out. It's more of just
It's like
hotness
very
and rye, but there's-
Even, yeah.
But the Redemption, I'm getting this like almost like herbs and like kind of tea leaves note, especially on the back end. That is phenomenal.
I have to
I
say
feel
it.
that.
I have to
Yes.
say, like, and I pick Michters all the time, but this Redemption is like it's like a joke how good it is.
This is really good.
I get like a lot. I mean, there's still like you still get a burn. It's still like it's definitely high proof, but like I get like it's almost like I'm eating cherry pie.
What's
like
that?
it's
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Redemption. It's awesome. I think like if I was gonna pick them, I really like the nose on the Michters. There's just something going on when you nose it that I almost like. I can't describe it. It's not your typical thing, but I get more of that spicy, fruity, like exactly
almost like a little
what I want.
caramel. Do you get
Yes,
it? Yeah.
like as if it was like a hot pepper caramel apple or something, like caramel dipped hot apple. It's just
Trademarked,
got like a-
trademark copyright. Hot
you know,
pepper
you know
caramel
what I-
apple.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like a spicy caramel, but it has a beautiful nose. Like, and I don't know, Michters just does that. They have this thing where like all of their stuff on the nose is just really nice. But I'm gonna probably tend to agree with you guys a bit on the actual drink. That the Redemption just has so much going on, and I know why Jake picked this to stand in for, like you were saying, your favorite smooth ambler, because that's what we all love about those smooth ambler ryes, and that's why you can't find them anymore, and they've all been kind of tapped out because it's like that complexity and all of that richness of flavor and all the different things going on that it's almost like and I think Mike was talking about the tea leaves. That's like a really unique sort of thing that I don't taste much in rye, and it's cool and it catches you off guard a little bit.
I've gotten that. Oh, I'm sorry. I've gotten that off of the Lot 40 also, which I believe is Canadian. I've gotten that. It tasted like you were sucking on like a Lipton tea bag almost. But this is like that with spearmint or some sort of herb that I can't put my finger on.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like an anise in your tea kind of thing, or like a minty something going on.
I mean, not to give away what our
Fennel
choice
oil,
is.
you know?
Not that we're trying to be biased or anything, but
It's got a little
the Redemption is
chocolatiness
really,
to it.
it's like what I like about rye.
I also want to know, just out of curiosity, I want to know what the Beast thinks of these guys. The second round, I'd like to. Find
Yeah,
out
let
what
us
they-
know. What do you think?
I really love both of them. Yeah, and then it carries through the palate. The Redemption just it's a little hot and sour. Goes a little hot and sour for me, and the Michter's just kind of right in the pocket. But I would drink both of these for sure. Like they're excellent ryes, especially considering how hard rye is to find. So I think we've both done really well.
Certainly no,
This is
no
so
garbage
cordial.
here.
Yeah.
These are all awesome, and these two specifically are excellent.
we have
Like,
such
if
a
you get
hard
your-
job.
If
It's
you guys
really
can
so
get
sad.
at home,
Oh, yeah,
if you can
such
get
a
your
hard
hands on
job.
this
Yeah, it's a
Redemption or
hardship.
the Michter's Barrel Strength, go to war. Like, clear the shelves. I'm saying
Yeah.
No.
clear the shelves.
I have a quick comment too about the Redemption Barrel Proof. We're having batch number 5. I had batches 1 and 2 that they made, and I did not like them at all.
Yeah, batch 1 was tough.
It was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sorry, it was bad.
So you're saying there's great variability in what they're producing.
Well,
batch to
what
batch.
I think is that they've gotten better at it, figuring it out. I think when they first did it, they didn't know what kind of to expect, so they just dumped a bunch of barrels and put it together because it was like these 2 guys running it. It has since been bought by a much larger company that has like a much more financial stake in the company.
Who owns them now?
Some really random ass company that also owns fucking Yellowtail wine. So like,
Don't
not
knock the yellowtail. They come in a Magnum.
I think they come in a box.
As long as they're staying.
There's a
protected,
time and a
it's
place for
fine.
everything, my friend.
No, but I was talking with someone the other day, and there was a very interesting conversation that came up, which was when you're getting something from a distillery directly, like you would with Wild Turkey or with Pikesville, or I mean even with Michter's, even though they're contract distilled. When it's distilled, it has an end game in mind, and LDI is an industrial monster that just pumps stuff out. So
So you're picking through their big productions to find a diamond in the rough.
or you're not. And you're just saying, okay, I'll take all those barrels because I have a project to fulfill and I have money to pay
Some
for
might
it.
be good, some might be
Exactly.
Usually they're selling like half a day's worth of a run.
Yeah, so they buy a run,
yeah.
right? So Redemption, I would like this better if they would release some single barrels. I bet they would be killer because that's what Smooth Ambler did. When Smooth Ambler had a really killer barrel, they released it as a single barrel, and those were probably the most coveted rides on the market for like 3 years.
Yes.
But when they batched it together, they proofed it down to 100 proof and put it as their 7-year, and it was delicious. That's what I do with this at home, and that's why I liked it so much. That's why I thought it was so versatile, is because it is a monster by itself, and it is good. But you can almost get a bottle and a half to 2 bottles out of this. If you proof it down to 50% alcohol at home yourself with some water, it becomes much more versatile and really good.
You're proofing it down at home?
Sometimes.
He's adding water
Por
to it.
qué?
No, because when I first opened this, even this batch, it's rough. It's not as put together as it is now. It needs
You're
a little
saying
bit of
that
air.
it needs a little
Yeah.
oxygenation.
So what I'm saying is that like it is good, and I still think it's like one of the best ryes in the market. But what I'm saying is there is a lot of batch variation, and that it's like it is good proof down. So like
Wait,
they
so
had
what-
an interesting.
So for the
category.
people at home, don't just run out and grab yourself a Redemption. Be judicious. Be careful. Look into what it is, you're saying?
I'm saying grab anything past batch 3.
Okay. Interesting.
So what are the prices on these? Like what's the because the
They're pretty-
Michter's
they're
is
pretty
not
This is
super
about 85, and the Redemption I think is about 95.
Really, that Michter's
No.
is 85?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the Michter's is between like 80. It's like closer to 80. And the Redemption.
Barrel strength.
But I bought the Redemption for like 65, 70.
Hmm.
But they have an 8-year that's closer to 100,
Oh, okay.
and they have a 10-year that's over 100.
And which is this?
This is the 7-year, which I think the 7 and the 8-year are the best. The 10-year is too much. There's too much
Too
wood on
oaky?
it. Yeah, it goes past its prime.
So we're ready. The votes are in for round 2. The judges have levied their decision. Dana, what's your vote on round 2?
I have to say, for me, the best rye here is the Redemption, hands down. It was like kind of not
Hands down.
Yeah.
You're saying it's
And-
the best on the table?
Well,
or
well,
round
we're
2?
just doing round 2. And this is surprising for me because like I said, I always go with the Michter's. Always, always, always. And the Redemption, it was a winner. It was a clear winner for me.
All right, Mike. Round 2. What's your vote?
The Redemption.
Clearly.
Clear, hands down, that note that I've very rarely had in a rye. Super balanced. It doesn't drink to its proof in a good way. It's the Redemption.
All right. So I voted for the Michter's mostly as a consolation to Steve. But no, I really do like the Michter's. Beautiful on the nose. I do like the Redemption too, but I'm casting a vote for the Michter's. So it seems like we have a tie. in the rounds. So
2-1 round 1 and 2-1 round 2.
2-1 versus 2-1. So we have the Beast taking round 1 with Pikesville. We have the Warrior taking round 2 with Redemption. Now we have to figure out what we're gonna do. I think the judges we've had in our conclave over here a decision that we're gonna pick the overall best bottle, right? Oh. So we'd like to just discuss our thoughts. We haven't nice pop, brother.
I thought my epileptic parakeet was gonna kill it harder than it did.
Well, it did in the first round. 1. Yeah. But then my diuretic bison came back and shat all over you in the second round.
Yeah, the parakeet got drowned in the shatabus of the bison in round 2.
You're basically
piled up, and the parakeet couldn't fly over it anymore.
You're basically just Samuel Tarley right now, cleaning up my fucking bedpan.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Is that really
spoiler
alert? There was like more soup and bedpan clearing than I've ever seen in the world.
That was like the intro to Money by Pink Floyd. that scene, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Game of Thrones was the one place I could go to not have to fucking hear Ed Sheeran.
Spoiler alert.
And
but they did spoil
totally
Game of Thrones
fucking jumped
for
the shark for me.
Yeah, that was. I was really. We could talk about that as a whole separate podcast. That was really disappointing.
I went to talk to Steve about it earlier, and he was just like, "Fucking Ed Sheeran, fuck."
I think they call that jumping the shark. No.
Yes,
I don't
correct.
know what is that.
You know, there was this.
Jumped over the shark and
there was a Happy Days episode. Yeah,
that's when it's gone.
I don't watch.
That's where that came from.
Yes.
Jumping the shark.
Yeah, there was an episode where Fonzie jumped over a shark,
and the
and
water
like
skiing
that was
thing,
it.
and they're in
Yeah.
Hawaii or some crap. Yeah. All right, we digress. But
fuck Ed Sheeran.
That ginger piece of
I
crap.
have to say that I don't currently watch Game of Thrones. I know I'm probably the only person on earth, but now I'm definitely not watching it.
Well, to fill you in, it was bedpans full of shit and Ed Sheeran. So you're caught up.
Basically, just bedpans full
So
of
just
shit.
You're caught
Ed
up.
Sheeran, basically.
Yeah, somewhere in there's some dragons, but other than like,
Yeah, whatever.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so I think now we have to talk on the judges panel about what's the penultimate bottle of the evening.
Wow, that was an SAT word. Can you
And
please explain that to the whiskey
Pent
warrior?
ultimate from the Latin pentos, which means 5.
Is it incorrectly used?
Well, penultimate means like the second to ultimate.
Oh.
Like the second.
All right, well, I'm a total schmuck.
Why are you still friends with him?
I'm a fraud. No, he's right. He's right. The ultimate.
There you go.
The apex, if you will.
No, I'm trying to sound smart, but actually coming off like a total asshole.
All right.
So, in fact, we're going to vote on the ultimate bottle of tonight's contest. So we have to figure out of the 4, what do we 3 agree? So we need to consider price. We need to consider availability. We need to consider obviously the nose, the taste.
The smell of it, the taste of it, the texture.
Oh, that's a good one. Shake that one for later.
But I think all these are important. We want to give the people, like, you know, if you're going to go out and buy one of these, if you're going to narrow down the 4 and you say, which one of these do I really want to go and throw down my loot on in a liquor store or online, which should I choose? Let's figure it out. What are your thoughts, Dana?
God, it's so freaking hard. Here's what I would say. While my personal preference is Redemption, because I think it's what is happening right now?
Jake's bathing in Wild Turkey 101 over there. Another lobbying influence.
So good.
Influence peddling.
That's my cologne.
If we ever need to get anything done in Washington, we're sending Jake down there.
Yeah, he just cannot keep that turkey in his pants.
So the redemption for me is probably my personal preference. However, if I were to choose amongst the 4, and really what I think is the best, I've got to go with the Pikesville. So I think for the price, I think it's the best for the price. I think it's got a really unique flavor. I like it compared with the others. I think it's accessible to others. I just think it's a good balance of being like a little bit different, but also really super drinkable.
All right, Mike, your thoughts? I know you got a lot to say, so let's have it out. Let's hear it.
He's positioning the bottles.
So far, Pikesville is up front now.
So if we're talking supreme value, absolute value, we're flavor to dollar ratio, it's the Wild Turkey. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to recommend that you go out and you I recommend you have a bottle in your bar and you have it. But if you were getting something special or something that I want to sip on, I'm not going to recommend Wild Turkey 101. Pikesville, if you're from a $50 standpoint, it's a great staple. The Michter's doesn't meet that $85 range. It doesn't drink like an $85 bottle. So from a value standpoint, it's not my thing. People love Michter's. People love this rye. It's never really been my thing. So it still isn't.
There you go.
The Redemption, that note we got from there was unlike anything I've ever had before.
It was amazing.
Maybe some of the older ryes, like I have had the Will at 25 where I got that like face full of spearmint that I loved, and I've had it in the Lot 40 rye, that tea note. Even at we're talking under 100, even just touching that that upper limit. I got to go with the Redemption.
Mike,
it's
just
just
DTF Redemption.
DTF Redemption.
Just got a face full of spearmint.
Just put it on my face.
Oh yeah, Redemption, yeah.
I'm gonna go home and suck on some tea bags.
A bottle of rye on your face. That was horrible.
Gym tan laundry.
Speaking of
That
sucking
was
on tea
amazing.
bags,
When you come into my arena, you just deal with what I throw at you, bro.
I wish this was a vlog. That's just so bad.
When this is on YouTube, when we get the video cameras in here, then you can watch me in all my glory.
Oh my God. Stop watching whenever that happens.
So wait, we're tied again.
Well, no.
wait, no, we had a tiebreaker.
I've said
All comes
nothing.
down to
To
Ben.
Ben.
I've said nothing.
Dun, dun.
All right. So all the criteria that we've established, I think we laid out 4 awesome bottles. I'm going to agree. Pure dollar to taste ratio, you cannot go wrong with the Wild Turkey 101.
Agreed.
It's like if you're a value player, like many people I know are, don't screw around. Just go buy this. Get your Wild Turkey 101. Get your fix on. It's great rye for the money. You cannot beat it. You will never beat it. Get your fix on. Get your fix on. I do enjoy the Michter's personally. I know Dana likes the Michter's. Mike, not a huge fan. I enjoyed it a lot. I like Michter's rye. I like their aged ryes. Like the stuff you can't even try to find anymore. I think the barrel strength rye is really good. It's a good sipper, great nose. I really did like the Redemption as well. I think that Mike hit it on the head when he said, like, this is just something super unique. Considering that it comes out in these batches, can we really get this batch easily anymore? I don't know. But the tea leaf thing was awesome. I totally feel that. And as we've been sitting around, I get it much more on the nose even. Maybe now that I'm conscious of it, like the seed is planted.
Power
It's
suggestion.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's delicious.
Well, Jake, how similar have the batches been? Have you tasted the 3 through 7
They said they're
or
pretty-
3 through 5?
Pretty variable.
The similarities are in like the nose of that 95.5 LDI kind of minty, like it tastes like what half of the rye in the market tastes like now. Like it smells like that more minty, more herbaceous kind
Minty,
of
peppery
vegetal
LDI
rye.
rye.
Yeah, it's not like those Kentucky ryes that we've been used to for the last 40 years. So there's a similar note, but the variability of it being put together, like as a really good sipper, I have to admit is it's a high variable. So
Right.
like
You don't know
batches-
what you're going to get.
yeah,
Batch to
batches.
batch.
I mean, like they've gotten better and better. So like
Which is-
batch 1, batch 2 were pretty terrible. Batch 3, batch 4 were okay. Batch 5 is really good, obviously. Batch
As
6
you
was
said.
great. Yeah.
And totally with that in mind,
So, yeah.
in my shuffling of the deck, I got to say that out of all of them, I'm gonna say that the Pikesville is probably my top of the pops for tonight. It's my ultimate because I'm gonna agree for dollars for what you get for the consistency for any of you out there listening to this being able to walk into a liquor store any day and buy this bottle and know what you're going to get out of it and expect what we're talking about to actually hit your tongue. It will deliver. So will the Wild Turkey, but I do think the Pikesville is better. I know that the price is a little more, but I think it's worth it. And I would buy it any day, all day. It's an excellent rye. I love the rye. I would serve it up. I think this Redemption, if you can find it, this batch 5,
Batch 5.
get it. It's really awesome. It's unique. It's an incredible sipper. The Michter's obviously a staple. If you can get it. But Pikesville is going to be my winner today because I think it combines great taste with excellent bang for your buck, especially in today's market. People might be like $55 for some rye, but that's actually a pretty decent deal now. So there we go. There we have it. I think we had a tie, and then we were very close on the end. But the SmokyBeast
Victorious.
is taking this.
Let me just
episode.
recap. So the Whiskey Warrior hopped over the little hobbly things. He climbed up the salmon ladder. He rolled down the wall of douche. But the wall of douche. The stunt that finally clipsed him. The epileptic canary.
That canary got me. Not even my finest diuretic buffalo can keep up with your epileptic canary.
Nice.
You know what?
The canary
Whatever.
managed to dodge the turd.
Just do not take off your belt, whatever you do.
Listen, here I have to take off my belt. Here is
Pass
the
it
ceremony of the belt getting taken off and getting passed along. I
No.
apologize. Has to happen.
Like I said,
Don't do it.
Stay seated.
like I said before, he's only wearing a belt and there's no pants.
Too
Please.
too much.
Keep that under the table.
Sorry, those are my marbles.
Going
Here.
back to our tuxedo T-shirt conversation.
All right, here you go, Mr. Zeller, Mr. SmokyBeast.
Cheers. Well done, people.
You're
Well,
new-
cheers.
you're new
Cheers to
class.
everybody. All right. Thanks for
Fucking
coming.
bullshit. Hashtag Rick.
Thanks for having me.
Big thanks to Mike and Dana
SmokyBeast
for
revenge.
judging.
This was a treat, a big treat.
Everybody remember, you can find Mike at the
Bourbon Review.
Review on Instagram. He's got some great pictures. Follow him. He's blowing it up. Remember Jake, the Whiskey Warrior. I think it's the_whiskey_warrior on Instagram, correct?
It is.
We're gonna sort out
We'll
the
be back.
SmokyBeast and the Whiskey Warrior will be back. They will face off
We have to. I
in
need my title back.
a round 3 to decide who's the true supreme Beast Warrior winner, because they're now tied. The belt is kind of going to be held in escrow for a minute to figure out. Now, I think the belt now passes to the SmokyBeast. He gets to hold on
It
to
just
it.
did. My pants are around my ankles. I need to get out of
You
here.
didn't
and
have
then
pants on to begin with.
and then whoever wins will take me on, and I'll kill you both.
Well,
Cheers.
all right, but thank you, everyone. Thanks to our guest judges for coming in. Please support them. Follow the Whiskey Warrior and the Bourbon Review.
Thanks, guys.
Both on Instagram. And we'll be back soon. Check out our shop, beastmastersclub.com/shop.
Shop it up.
We've got some awesome barrels still available. There's still a few.
There's like 3 hot pickles left.
I think it's less than 10.
They're
Well, less than 10.
and they're selling like hot pickles.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
selling like
yeah.
hot pickles and a hot pickle. Will it get me wet? Will it make
Too
me
hot.
sweat?
Too hot.
Oh, wait, no, back it up now.
We have a few Midnight Riders left as well. The Elijah Craig barrel that we did.
Oh, there's still some of that left?
A little bit.
There's not going to be much left. Amanda is going to go buy all of them right now.
Is she a fan?
Those are fucking great.
They are. They're
They're so
super
good.
tasty. And like we've said, probably the best value in bourbon that you are going to find.
$36.
At $36. Snap them up. All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks again. Thanks for everyone who came. Thank you for listening. This has been the Beastmasters Club podcast.
Great job, Beast. High five.